Good morning, 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 everybody. How you guys doing? This is a good old Grandmaster Revan here, and welcome to the Anonymous Liberty Media on YouTube. It is November 1st. It is a post Halloween morning. It is approximately 1:31 a.m., and I am Grandmaster Revan. Good morning, everybody. How you guys doing this fine Thursday morning? And I'm drinking some water since there's no coffee and there's no sugar. There's coffee, but no sugar. No Splenda, by the way. Sorry. Um, I haven't been all this week. All this week will be a podcast from Sunday to Saturday for at least 45 minutes, twice each day, morning and in the evening, for a whole week. Haven't done it yet. Haven't. It's been uh about a couple weeks or so, but I will pick up next week and it is a I've been getting messages and stuff, and let's see here. Got a message. Morning vlog. Well, it's been a while since I've done anything really in the news area here, but um, the shooter of the synagogue shooter was apprehended, and there is a lot of blaming towards the shooter supposedly being a Trump supporter, but that wasn't the case. The shooter was not very fond of the president because he was a left wing. Um, uh, he was he hated Jews. The shooter, the shooter wished that all Jews were dead, which is a very wrong thing to say because it is a very wrong thing to say to anybody who of Jewish descent or Jewish faith. Now, I believe that if you have nothing to say, don't say anything at all. Now, I remember being told that for many years because when I was younger, I had a mouth, and it got me into a lot of trouble. And if you have nothing nice to say to anybody based on their religion or their heritage, don't say anything at all because it'll make you look like an ass. Now, the shooter had a van with people, left wingers, and celebrities like Michael Moore and Robert De Niro with targets on their faces, and he had it posted on his van. This van. I don't know if there was if it was some kind of a target list for anybody, but these these devices. I'm not saying the bombs. I'm saying they're devices. Okay, I would rather say devices. These security devices were sent to the Obamas, the Clintons, to CNN. A lot of the people in government on the left, and uh, but the shooter that did the shooting in the synagogue, he's looking at the death penalty. Okay, he killed 11 people, including a 91-year-old uh, Holocaust survivor, 91 years old, and he said that all Jews must die. Now, which that if it, I mean, it is a scary thing. I mean, look at the shooting that happened in a church in a southern Baptist church where 9 to 12 people died, and and the young man that did the shooting was a white supremacist, and even he got the death penalty. He got the death penalty, and his attorney is trying to appeal that decision, which has been years ago since that day. But the synagogue shooter, is looking at the death penalty, and they're calling the MAGA bomber, which is the most stupidest thing ever heard or ever said. The MAGA bomber. Okay, they're calling this crazy guy the MAGA bomber. Okay, he had pictures of celebrities, political figures on the left, and anybody who opposes whatever that this guy had on his mind. Targets of people with targets on their face, pictures of celebrities and political figures with targets on their face. I don't condone anybody, whether you like them or not, whether you find them whether you find them despicable, heinous, insane, totally rotten to the core or not, or just plainly stupid. They do not deserve to be targeted like that. Okay, they'll get theirs in the end when they meet the maker. Okay, but not now. Okay, but a lot of this now. President Trump met with people in Pittsburgh. Um, he did go to Pittsburgh, and his the the convoy, the let's call it the presidential convoy, were blocked by mourners of the shooting. Um, I don't know how they felt about it, but I'm not. I'm just gonna go that. I'm just gonna go. Just leave it as because I don't want to say anything that would get me into trouble. Okay, I'd rather just leave it as is. I don't want to say anything that could get me into trouble. So leave it at that. Don Lemon. Oh man, this son of a bitch just cannot get enough of this guy being a fucking douche. He said the blame of the shooting in the synagogue and the so-called MAGA bomber, he blamed it on white men who were radicalized by the far right. Oh wow! One flew of the cuckoo's nest, huh, Don? One flew of the cuckoo nest. I tell you what, it, it it's getting worse by the day when a liberal left wing media decides to play try to pretend to be serious, and you're blaming white men who are radicalized by the far right. Now, here's what's wrong with that. Okay, let me get to a point here. There's white men on both political parties. Some are Democrats, some are Republicans. Okay, some are independents, some are libertarians. Some are Green Party, some are Constitutional Party. Okay, simple as that. Some are liberals, some are progressives, some are moderates, some are conservatives. And you cannot blame all white men. Okay, when you blame white men and you're white, you're making yourself look like this. If you're a white woman, you look like this. If you're a white man, you look like this. Okay, got another message here. Uh, because if you want to blame, if you're a white man and you're blaming, or if you're a white man or a white woman and you're blaming white men, um, maybe you should look in the mirror because if you're a woman and you're white, lady, you're white yourself. And even Joy Behar blamed white men. Okay, and it's getting really, I mean, really insane because not all white men are bad. Not all white people are bad. It's based on their mental capacity of really recognizing that they're idiots. Um, I, you know, I thought all men were created equal based on based on content of character and skin color. Equal, nothing bad about it. But um, here's the thing here with me. I'm half white. Okay, I'm half white. Okay, do I blame white men? No, I blame stupid people. I blame stupid people. I don't blame a black man. I don't blame a white man. I don't blame a Hispanic man. I don't blame a Jewish guy. I don't blame a Asian guy. I don't blame a Iranian guy. I don't blame a Russian guy. I don't blame a French guy. I don't blame a German guy. I don't blame a Pakistani guy. I don't blame a Swedish guy. I don't blame a Greek guy. I blame stupid people. There are good people in this world, but we also got stupid people in this world because for over hundreds of years, you got dumbasses going along with the same goddamn line, going along with the goddamn same script. Simple as that. Now, if now another in today's news that Gab was hit was deplatformed yesterday, and because of the shooter who posted some stupid shit on Gab, but Gab is like any other platform. It's like Facebook. It's like Twitter. It's like Instagram. It's like Minds. It's like MeWe. Hollandness. Okay? Tumblr. But what the guy wrote on Gab, they thought, we need to deplatform these people because the shooter wrote some stupid shit on Gab. It's been deplatformed. How many will say it was they were the Alex Jones do. Now, the good news is that Overstock.com has put a $6 billion or $6 million connection with Minds.com. It looks like Minds is going mainstream. And here's kicker: there's life after Facebook. Go to Minds.com. or download the Minds app on your Apple and Android device. And here's another story we got on the Anonymous Liberty Media. It seems that Mark Zuckerberg is saying that Facebook is going to battle fake news or hate speech. When this guy opened his mouth, you know he's lying. He's full of shit. The guy is 5'7", and I actually know that shit does pile that high. Now, mind-boggling monster black hole in the Milky Way center. This is from Fox. This is from Fox News. Uh, Astronomers may have observed a stunning supermassive black hole at the center of the Milky Way that's pulling gas. Gas blobs into its vortex about 30% of the speed of light. This is the first time that the material has been observed orbitally close to the point of no return, and most of the detailed observation yet of materials orbiting so close to the black hole, according to scientists at the European Southern Observatory. The the movement of the gas blob triggered powerful bursts of radiation that were then detected by researchers using a gravity instrument on the Very Large Telescope Array in Chile. It's mind-boggling to actually witness material orbiting a massive black hole at 30% of the speed of light, says Oliver Fool, scientist at the Max Planck Institute for Extraterrestrial Physics (MPE). In a statement, gravity's tremendous sensitivity allows us to observe accretion process in real time in unprecedented details. According to researchers, the monster black hole known as the Sagittarius A, or something A star, is a physical point of no return that pulls any matter that close into a death spiral. A group published a study to its work in the Journal of Astronomy and Astrophysics on Wednesday. Sagittarius A star is thought to be a black hole with a mass that is more than 4 million times the mass of our Sun, residing about 24,000 light years from Earth. So that means you need the Millennium Falcon, the Millennium Falcon to do 9 parsecs your ass to the black hole to observe it more. To always one of our dream projects, but we do not dare to hope that it would become possible as soon, says Reinhard Genzel, also of the MPE, who led the study, referring to the long-standing assumption that Sagittarius A star is a massive black hole. Genzel concluded that the result is a resounding confirmation of a massive black hole paradigm. The southern the European Southern Observatory also created an animation of the gas cloud and flare seen below. Here. It's pretty cool looking. Pretty cool. The incident observed by astronomers is depicted in the top image at the top of the store. Astronomers is depicted in the top an image at the top of the store. However, the image is not a photograph. It is a visual simulation based on data collected by gravity and other telescopes. If you are close enough to observe these flares, you'd be in a lot of trouble. Tanis Joseph, a astrophysic and a fellow at a University of Manchester who wasn't involved in the study, told Business Insider, we would say extremely bright flashes of optical light that would be lots of high energy radiation using gamma ray and X rays that would be very damaging to our bodies. Okay, I got another message here. Message. Then I want to send you a pic. Okay. Okay. I'm still here. Now, in other news, the Breitbart news, um, let me see here. Now, there's an email that was sent by someone living in El Salvador. Sent an email to Glenn Beck, telling the truth about the caravan. Or I mean, so many people it would take at least 80 buses to haul everyone's ass to the border. Now they're going through Honduras and they're about to go through Mexico, but it's being like it's not good at all. It is bad news. Um, the people that are in that caravan are straight up fucking criminals. Okay, a lot of heat in this bullshit. And when the president announced that he was going to send about 5,000, around 5,200 troops to the border, um, I mean, it is insane. You know, I mean, the left wing networks are just really having a field day, flipping their lid, complaining that why not leave the border patrol? Because there are very few border patrol. I mean, you got you got soldiers already patrolling the border and everything else, and you also got the Minutemen patrolling the border, and so um, it is bad, but people in the border between Honduras and Mexico are kind of putting a lid on this. That they're trying to intervene and tell people, "Hey, go the fuck back." I mean, there. Well, I mean, there's no reason for asylum. I mean, you have people that came here who are legal citizens. Don't want them here. Now, Cesar Chavez, who founded the Farmer Worker Union, he was scared the shit out of illegal immigrants that came here because he himself didn't want them here, and because how he did his job, Farmer Worker Union, and so there are schools and colleges named after Chavez. I mean, He was a shrewd. He was a smart guy, very smart guy. But he also believed in that if you come in here illegally, even though you want to bear life, you gotta go through the right channel. I mean, you gotta go through the proper channels, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, if you want to come here, you gotta go through the proper channels. You gotta sign up and file. You gotta bust your ass to become a citizen. Just don't come here and thinking, well, I'm a citizen now. No, that's not how it works. That's like if I go to either Mexico or Russia or Greece or and say, well, I'm here, I'm a citizen now. What are your papers? I have no idea. You're illegal. They would deport my ass back to the states because I'm not a citizen of this country, of the of the of that particular country. I was born and raised in the United States. So I couldn't go to Canada saying, well, I'm a citizen now, I'm here. No, you're not. I would be an illegal immigrant in Canada, or I would be a illegal immigrant in Russia or Cuba or Mexico or somewhere in Europe. I would be an illegal immigrant. I'm not. I wasn't born here. I didn't go through the proper channels to become a citizen of, say, Russia or Canada or Germany or Austria or Greece or Spain or Uruguay or Guam. I would have to file for paperwork to become a citizen. I would have to go through the proper channels to be a citizen. You know, I just can't go illegally and say, "Well, I'm here now. I need a visa. I need this and this and this." And so, it's all one big fuck up, ladies and gentlemen. One big fuck up. And let me see here. And also in today's news, in Breitbart News, Japan, Florida, far left media uses tragedy of synagogue attack to sow anger and division. That's not good. That's not good at all. President Trump at Wednesday's rally in Florida called out far left media for using his trip to pay respect to the Pittsburgh synagogue shootings victims to sour anger and division. The president on Tuesday visited victims, survivors, hospital staff, and memorial other victims of mass shootings that occurred days ago at the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh. He expressed grief for families of fallen and gratitude to law enforcement officers who were injured as they placed themselves in harm's way. Trump pledged to remove vile anti-Semitism and reaffirms our unbreakable solidarity with the Jewish people. People, President Trump said his visit was about coming together as a nation for comfort and heal. But he was also sad to see when he returned to the news later the day. Left media used it to sour anger and division, like they always fucking do. The Florida rally crowd began shouting "CNN sucks" in response. Trump pointed to media reports that focused the small group of protesters together far from where he and the First Lady were during the visit. He said the left media did everything in their power to play up those protesters and push people apart. He called the reports fake and make believe. When he talked about the division, this was the big part of the division right there. He said those media reports, he called out far left media for spreading terrible lies about the Trump administration and the people who make up our great movement from around the country. He called the greatest movement in the history of America. The movement is you. It's about you, not me. It's about you. He pointed to his administration's resort the bond with Israel and moved the U.S. embassy in Israel to Jerusalem. Something many presidents promised, but none had delivered. We're taking unprecedented action to confront the regime in Iran, and we have to end horrible one-sided Iran nuclear catastrophes," said Trump. Iran is a different, much different today country today than the country that started off at being our beginning of our administration. We are forcefully condemning hatred, bigotry, racism, and prejudice in all of its ugly forms, but the media doesn't want you to hear your story," said Trump. That's why 33% of the people in this country believe fake news is in fact the enemy of the people. The left-wing media doesn't want to solve problems; they want to stoke resentment, and has to stop, declared Trump. They believe that progress isn't good for profit or for whatever reason it is that they're playing their game. Our movement is about safe homes, great jobs for every citizen. Our movement is about love and fellow Americans, said Trump. Our movement is for everyone and belongs to everyone who wants to build a better future. You can do it right here in the USA. He then pointed to the governments under the Trump administration. Michelle Moons is a White House correspondent for Breitbart News. Follow her on Twitter at Michelle Diana and Facebook. The, I mean, and also in the news, ex mobster, Boston mobster, Whitey Bulger is found dead in his jail in his cell. Now, it is. I mean, Whitey Bulger was on the run for 16 years. On the run. All right, here's some more news here. Google executive accused of sexual misconduct resigns. He resigns. Rich Duvall, one of the executives at Google parent company Alphabet, accused of sexual misconduct in an expose by the New York Times, has reportedly resigned from the company. The Verge reported that Rich Duvall, an executive at Google's parent company Alphabet, has resigned from the company as being named in a recent expose by the New York Times, which outlined a number of instances of alleged sexual misconduct by executives at Google, including Duvall. Duvall held the title of Director of Rapid Evaluation and Mad Science at Alphabet X, the company's experimental project division, and reportedly did not receive any sort of exiting package following his resignation from the company. According to a report from New York Times, Duvall invited hardware engineer Star Simpson, who was interviewed to work at Google, to art, culture, musical festivals called Burning Man, telling her at the time that he and his wife were preliminary. Simpson attached the festival believed that it maybe help her chances to get hired. She went with her mother and brought her professional attire with her, according to the Times. But at the festival, Duvall encouraged Simpson to remove all her clothes and asked to give her a massage. Simpson later learned that she had not got the job at Google and that Duvall was aware of this while attending Burning Man with her 2 years later. Simpson informed Google of the situation and says the company encouraged her not to go public, discussing the issue was appropriately as appropriate action, which be taken against Duvall. However, he continued to work at the company. In a statement at the time, Duvall stated that he made an error judgment, like they all say, and believed that Simpson knew she had not received a job at Google when she attended the Burning Man. The report from the New York Times titled "How Google Protected Andy Rubin, the Father of Android," outlined how the progressive tech giant Google protected the three executives that were accused of sexual misconduct for more than a decade. The article noted that Andy Rubin, the creator of the Android mobile operating system, left the company in October and was given a farewell by executive companies, as well as a $90 million severance package. $90 million. Andy Rubin accused of sexual misconduct for more than a decade. The article notes that Andy Rubin, the creator of the Android mobile operating system, left the company in October and was given a hero's farewell by executives at the company, as well as a $90 million severance package. Ladies and gentlemen, $90 million. What the fuck? Larry Page, Google's chief executive, commented on Rubin's departure statement. I want to wish Andy all the best with what's next. With Android, he created something truly remarkable, and with a billion plus happy users. The New York Times notes that in their farewell to Rubin, the company failed to mention that Rubin was leaving the company after claiming a sexual assault by a Google employee with whom Rubin was having a extramarital relationship with. An affair. Hmm. Plot thickens. Rubin has denied any wrongdoing, stated that the New York Times report featured numerous inaccuracies about my employment at Google and wild exaggerations about my compensation, which was $90 million and shit. He continued to say the false accusations are part of me as per campaign spars me during a divorce and custody battle. Well, pal, you did that to yourself. I'm deeply troubled that anonymous Google executives are commenting about my personal life and mistreatment the facts. Dude, you fucked up, Mr. Android. Employees at Google have reportedly became outraged of the restraint report from the Times and are allegedly company planning a company walkout. A Google employee told BuzzFeed News recently, personally, I'm furious. I feel like there's a pattern of powerful men getting away with awful behavior towards women at Google, or if they don't get away with it, they're getting a slap on their wrist, or they just sent away the golden parachute like Andy Rubin and its leadership of mostly men making decisions about the kind of consequences to give or not to give. Breitbart previously noted that as many as 200 employees are expected to take part in a walkout. Read more about planned protested here. Lucas Nolan is a reporter for Breitbart News covering issues of free speech and online censorship. Follow him on Twitter at Lucas Nolan or email him at inolan at breitbart.com. Mr. Nolan, you did a good job on report. Thank you very much. Wow. That's that wow. Oh man. That is another Lucas Nolan masterpiece. Mark Zuckerberg promises Facebook crackdown on hate speech ahead of the midterm elections. You fucking liar! Fake CEO Mark Zuckerberg stated recently that upcoming U.S. midterm elections will be a real test of the company's ability to crack down on hate speech and misinformation. Motherfucker, you're 5'7" and your belly is tall as shit, and this crackdown on hate speech and misinformation, that's fake crap. He's lying to you guys at all. Again, there's life after Facebook. Go to minds.com or download the Minds app on your Apple or Android device. Hollywood Reporter stated in a recent article that Facebook will make the biggest increase in money spent to combat hate speech and misinformation on its platform this year, according to shit-faced CEO Mark Zuckerberg. Zuckerberg stated, I'm sorry, but the lying CEO Mark Zuckerberg stated that despite Facebook increased expenditure, the company still won't be as dialed in as well as everyone would like us to be in relation to security and influence campaigns on the platforms. He's a 5'7" line motherfucker. Zuckerberg stated that the upcoming midterm election will be a real test of the newly implemented safeguards designed to protect the platform from bad actors' influence. Following reports, a numerous foreign influences campaign on social media website, Zuckerberg said the platform in the upcoming election will see all the good and the bad that humanity can do, but that social media platforms are getting better to hiding the bad stuff from users. That means collecting more information on your ass. Zuckerberg stated the social media firm will never be perfected at safeguarding your data. That means collecting more data. An issue that Facebook had Facebook has had excessive problems over the past year. The CEO, Mr. Full of Shit, stated that there is no silver bullet that could fix the issue of data leaks. You mean data collection, you fucking cocksucker. Facebook's most recent earning reported show the company is facing issue in user growth over the last quarter in both the U.S. and Europe. The number of U.S. users have remained flat, while the company has actually began to lose users in Europe. Zuckerberg stated in earnings call we may be close to saturated in developed countries. While the company's daily activity user count averaged around 1.49 billion in September, and increased 9% of last year's result. The firm daily average of the U.S. Canada's have remained flat and 185 million users since the first quarter of 2018. Daily active users in Europe declined from 279 million in the second quarter to 278 million in the third quarter. The first quarter, Facebook boasted 282 million in Europe. Luke Nolan is a reporter for the Breitbart News covering issues of free speech and online censorship. Follow him at Twitter at Lucas Nolan or email him at inolan at breitbart.com. Uh, Facebook approves ads from Vice News posing as all 100 senators. Let's this is fucking stupid here. Vice News received approval to publish fake book ads in the names of every U.S. senator in the further illustration of the weakness of social media giants paid for attribution system for political ads. A recent report from Vice News shows how easy Facebook new political advertising tool can be manipulated with little to no verification by Facebook. Social media giant and a mandatory paid for disclosure to political ads in May, which aimed to prove further clarity to the original political advertisements on the website. Said it appears that as a mandatory field can be used to spread misinformation. I thought Zuckercock said that they're gonna that Facebook was gonna battle hate speech and misinformation. Vice first successfully placed ads on Facebook using the names of a number of prominent political figures, groups including Vice President Mike Pence, the Democratic National Committee Chairman Tom Perez, and even ISIS terrorist group ISIS. All the ads were approved by Facebook in the names of these political figures and group included with the pay for disclosure. Now, Vice News has shown once again how easily the political advertising system can be fooled, this time by posing as 100 senators and successfully running ads indicating that they were paid for by each senator. Vice News reports But the eve of the 2018 election, Vice News investigation found the pay for buy feature is easily manipulated and appears to allow anyone to lie about who is paying for the political ad or to pose as someone paying for the ad. Tested, Vice News applied to buy fake ads on behalf of all 100 sitting U.S. senators, including ads paid for by the by Mr. McConnell and Chuck Schumer. Facebook approvals were bipartisan. All 100 sailed through the system, indicating that just about once can buy an ad identifying as paid for by a major U.S. politician. What's more, all of these approvals were granted to be fake, like fake book, fake political groups such as Cookies for Political Spreadsheets and Ninja Turtles pack. Vice News did not buy any fake book ads as part of the test. Rather, we received approval to include paid for by disclosures for political ads. Vice News contacted Facebook for a comment on most of the recent tests. The company admitted that they had indeed made mistakes in improving the ads, but still defended their verification system, which really sucks. If Facebook is going to claim to verify who's paying for the political ads, they need to actually do the work, said Senator Ron Wyden, Democrat of Oregon, in a statement to Vice News. Clearly, it needs to do more than combat fraudulent and false content, both in paid advertisement and viral posts. Facebook confirmed that Hunter paid for by disclosures in the name of U.S. senators should never be approved, but the company argues that that its paid for by features has bought a new level of transparency to political advertisement and caution it's just one piece of shit of its efforts along with searchable ad archives. We know we can do this. We can't do this alone, and by housing these ads for up to 7 years, people, regulators, third parties, and watchdogs groups can hold these groups more accountable," said fake book director and product management Ron Leatherin in a statement. Read the full article on Vice News here. Lucas Nolan is a reporter for Breitbart News covering issues of free speech and online censorship. Follow him at Twitter at Lucas Nolan or email him at iNolan or lnolan at Breitbart.com. Okay, let's see here. Let's see here. Former Thinking Hard football player sue woman over fake. Oh, wow, that's insane. Libertarian Rick Breckenridge endorses GOP Matt Rosendale. Ted Cruz posts Zodiac Killer letter to celebrate Halloween. Nice. Same thing news here. Mexico deports two caravan migrants wanted for murder and drug trafficking. Donald Trump Jr. slammed CNN's number two pansy, Don Lemon, for saying white men are to are the biggest threats, terror threats. Donald Trump Jr. called out CNN's Don Lemon Wednesday after the anchor declared the right wing men are the biggest terror threats in America. Amazing, I thought this was some sort of joke taken out of context, but no, it's Don Lemon being a moron once again. Unfortunately, this is how many leftists actually think. Disgusting. Imagine the outrage if you change white men with the other demographics. Donald Trump Jr. tweeted. Tweet it was a response of to CNN's personality Don Lemon saying that. Tweet it was a response of to CNN's personality Don Lemon saying that on Monday that all white men are America's biggest terror threats and yet there's no white guy ban. We have to stop demonizing people and realizing the biggest terror threat in this country is white men. Most of them recognized by the right, Lemon said, and we have to start doing something about them. There is no travel ban on them. There's no ban on. They had Muslim ban. They had no white guy ban. So that's what we do about that. Lemon is a full hot take like these on the same night he made his comments having a white guy banned. He also downplayed left wing violence is the most comical fashion, saying he doesn't see Democrats killing people over politics. Bullshit. Look at the Clinton family, crime family. They killed nearly 30 people within the last 40 years and shit, you know. They drew attention of Republican Representative Steve Scalise, who was literally shot by a far left Bernie supporter last year in attempted mass murder. San Francisco voters votes to starve itself with water despite Trump's backs. Okay. Fiscal quarterly earnings report reveal losers loss of users in Europe. That's right. That's right. That is right. A lot of people are leaving Facebook in Europe. Yeah, leaving Europe. Fugitive 18th Street, fugitive 18th Street gang members arrested by Border Patrol agents. U.S. immigrants use stolen documents at Texas checkpoint, say Border Patrol. Illegal immigrant accused of serial rape in Arizona. Paris police arrest over 1,500 Moroccans in 2018, just 6 days. Just, I'm sorry. Paris police arrested over 1,500 Moroccans in 2018, but just six deported. Bunch of pussies. DNA evidence migrant arrested after sexual assault on women, animals, and city. Allegedly rocked by migrant rape gangs. Reported by Oliver J.J. Lane. They've been placed in Freiburg, Baden-Württemberg, have arrested a migrant male after DNA evidence linked him to several sexual assaults and case of animal welfare abuse committed over a course of 2 years. The arrest of a southwestern German city was triggered by officers conducting a police press release praised the medical forensic work matching DNA samples taken from several crime scenes. The first three sexual assaults linked to arrest of unnamed 28-year-old Eritrean migrant. A 30-year-old woman was attacked in late May of 2018. Second case took place in mid-June when DNA evidence attempted sexual assault of a 31-year-old woman in the city. The most recent incident came in July when a 20-year-old woman was attacked in her house with sexual intent. Yet, the investigation took an unusual turn when the assaults were linked to farm attack during the town. 2017 contravention of the Animal Welfare Act saw sheep and goats sexually targeted with DNA evidence left behind by a suspect perpetrator, which the subsequently matched by the police database in Freiburg attack. Sheep and goats sexually targeted. What the fuck? London, Merkel's Germany. 7 Syrians arrested after 18-year-old gang rape. Witnesses and victim statement helped identify the suspect, leading the rest of Friday of the Eritrean suspect, who has now been placed in pretrial detention. Germany's World newspaper reported. City of Freiburg was rocked by unrelated anti-immigrant rape protest this Monday after more arrests than last Friday. A further 8 men who was then accused of gang raping a local woman. 7 were arrested were Syrian citizens and one German citizenship. And one has German citizenship. Barbara London reported that Saturday that German media had claimed to identify the alleged ringleader as wanted Syrian criminal Maj H, who was pictured in his homeland wearing a camouflage combat pack and wearing a belt-fed machine gun. The victim of the attack told police that she was had her drink spiked in a nightclub and traced the drug was subsequently discovered by investigators. Some 15 men in total are believed to have taken turns raping an 18-year-old in a wooden area as to the club over the course of hours. Mayor of Freiburg called for peace. 500 protesters organized by anti-mass migration political party Alternative for Germany (AFD) marched against migrant sexual assault and opposing around 1,500 pro-migrant counter-protesters who accused the opposition of exploiting the attack to build anti-migrant sentiment in Deutsche Welle reports. The city was also rocked by brutal rape and murder of teenage student Maria Lindenberger in 2016. Afghan but possibly Iranian asylum seeker Hussein Kavari, jailed this year for the killing. He had been personally jailed in Greece while an asylum seeker there was pushed a woman off the cliff, barely injuring her, but released due to several overcrowding in local jails. Oliver J. J. Lynn is the editor of Barbara London. Follow him on Twitter and Facebook. Fakebook. Petition to stop second Brexit vote hits 100,000 signatures. Oh, here we go. UK and Canada request hearing with fake book Mark Zuckerberg over privacy. Wow. Members of Parliament from both UK and Canada want fake book CEO Mark Zuckerberg, aka Dumbass, to testify at an unprecedented joint hearing over user privacy and fake news on social media. On Wednesday, the chairman of the UK Digital Culture, Media and Sports Select Committee, Damon Collins MP, and the chairman of Canadian Standing Committee on Access of Information, Privacy and Ethics, Bob Zimmerman, MP, sent a letter to Zuckercrutch requesting him to testify in the joint parliamentary hearing in Westminster, London. We write jointly as chair of the committee of the UK Canadian Houses of Commons appointed to scrutinize digital policy, including disinformation governance of the internet, declaring the letter of the past. Our committees both sought evidence from Facebook executive with sufficient authority to give an accurate account of recent failure to process, including recent Cambridge Analytica scandal and subsequent data breaches. You have chosen instead to send senior less senior less senior representatives and not yourself appeared, despite having taken up invitations from the U.S. Congress and Senate and the European Parliament. We understand that it is not a possibility to make yourself available to all parliaments. However, we believe your users and other countries need to line accountability of your organization directly by yourself. We would have thought that this responsibility of something that you would want to take up. We both plan to issue a final report on this issue by the end of December of 2018. The hearing of your evidence is now overdue and urgent. We plan to hold a joint parliamentary hearing at the Westminster Parliament on Tuesday, 27th of November, in International Grand Committee on Disinformation Fake News. This will be held by ourselves, but a number of other parliaments are likely to be represented. Not no such joint hearing has ever been held, given your self-declared objective to fix fake book and to prevent the platform malign use of world affairs and democratic process. We would like you to give you the chance to appear in the hearing. We call on you to take up this historical opportunity to tell parliamentarians from both sides of the Atlantic and beyond of the measure of fake book is taking a halt to spread of disinformation on your platform and protect your user data. We'd like you to receive a response by Wednesday, November 7th. According to Hills Ali Berlin, the joint request of both the United Kingdom and Canada is unprecedented as the two parliaments had never been held before joint hearing. Fake book, which hired former UK Deputy Prime Minister and prominent anti-Brexit spokesman Nick Clegg, aka Limp Dick, swollen glands on his balls. This month was given just $500,000, 500,000 euro fine, around 662,000 in the UK of the mass user data scandal, which left data of 87 million fake book users vulnerable this year. Charlie Nash is a reporter for Breitbart Tech. You can follow him on Twitter at Mr. Washington or like his page on Facebook. Wow, this is insane. Nancy Pelosi, Democrats will carry the House. No, they won't. Washington Post, Silicon Valley, focused on influencing midterm elections for Democrats. That's not going to work. Wow, that's um, really insane. Wow, can I believe this shit that Facebook is really this fucked up? Really fucked up. Really, really fucked up. Both the Canadian Parliament and the UK Parliament one fucker big time. Like I said, there's life after Facebook. Go to minds.com and download the Minds app on your Apple and Android device. And enjoy yourself on Minds. So, if you're new, if you're hold on, if you're new to this channel, please leave a like, subscribe, comment below, and don't forget to hit the bell for notification. And if you're new to this, and if you've got this transmission, you are the resistance. And a happy belated Halloween, and it is November 1st. It is bill paying day. I should be doing it within a few hours. So it is awesome to talk to you. See you guys again. My name is Grandmaster Revan, and like I said, like I said, knowledge is free. If you don't like it, I got 3 words for you. Go fuck yourself. All right. Peace out. Revan out.